Okay, I've got 4 email IDs. Is there someone else who has just joined? Request you to please share your email ID. I need to share case study to all of you. Okay, I've got vegan.anuragini@gmail.com, Rajnikant 300@gmail.com, Suman Som 15@gmail.com, this is Gurmail. Okay, 1 second. Gurmail S Parmar@gmail.com. Is there anyone else who has just joined? Request to please share your mail ID. Before I start the session, I want to share the case study to all of you. Arpita, I haven't seen your email ID on the chat box. Please share your mail ID. Thanks. Okay. All right, I have sent the case study. So let's start the session, I feel, and then we will talk about the case, right? All right, so, okay, Vidyut Gautam. Vidyut, I'm just going to share the case in a couple of minutes to you, right? Okay. All right. I hope you can see my screen. Just please help me to share the emoji by thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. Great. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining today's session. We are on the 6th session today. This is Dr. Anubha Walia, your facilitator, and I have a good 20 plus years of experience. We've already talked about in detail about me, how my specialization is into the L&D and quality. So about my company Prism, we are into trainings, consultancy, coaching, and yoga and wellness, and having our philosophy in place. So let's have certain tips and hygiene we will follow every time we do. So guys, we are going to start with the case study. The reason is we have talked about the various subjects of analytics in the last sessions, right? And let's see how do you apply, because today I will be putting the emphasis on the statistics approach also. Okay, so guys, this case study is about many engineering firms are facing a market with a shrinking supply of talent, and coupled with an aging workforce, the problem of having a sufficient inventory of capable engineers and project managers available working on the project is significant concern. So the following case study actually identifies the insight and actionable decision recommendation that emerged from the role analytics played in the large engineering firm experiencing critical talent turnover, right? So I would just request all of you to please check your email ID, and then I'm going to put you all in a breakout room. Okay. And you have to come up with an answer. So there are 3 questions to it. And in the 3 questions, we are looking for 3 recommendations. So as a group, what do you recommend to us? So that's what the case is all about. And I'm just putting only 2 breakouts room right now. Request you to join the group. And with it, I'm just sending you the case study immediately after this breakout room, the moment you join. Okay. Uh, okay. Mahesh, you have also just joined. I would really appreciate, please share your email ID also. And please join the rooms in the meantime. Arpita, please join the group. Arpita.
This is my first session, and honestly, I'm pretty much clueless here. I've done that twice, not able to even comprehend all of it completely. So yeah, I mean, I'll just wait for all to share and let me pick up from there.
All right, no worries. Thanks. I was just wondering the same thing because I did not see your name in the previous sessions.
This is my first ever.
Yeah, I could guess that. No worries, Anurag. Okay, or Rajnikant, maybe from you.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I was able to comprehend only a little bit of it, the whole this thing, the case study. For the first insight, like for engineers for 1 to 3 years of service, there's a bar chart which is showing the impact of their most recent salary, ma'am.
Hmm. I'm not able to hear you, Rajnikant.
Ma'am, I would like to request you to please kindly explain the whole case study, ma'am, just because I got stuck, ma'am.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay. So I think let's go to the, there was another group members in your group. Let me just understand if that person has gone through it. Vidyut, did you manage to go through it?
Ma'am, I went through the case study. Same way, ma'am. I couldn't just understand. I don't know. I went blank after studying the case study.
No.
All the insights, it seemed something like French for me.
Yeah, French. That's still, Anubha, can I just try?
Yeah, please try. I mean, absolutely okay.
Okay. So here it talks about a company, and they are losing their engineers, their staff. And then there is this insight one. It talks about how they can retain people if there is a higher rise in their paycheck. That's what I can understand from insight one. And then there's insight two. It talks about if people undergo more leadership training, even in that case the retention rate is higher. And insight three, I could not understand pretty much nothing.
All right.
So that's the best I could make out.
Okay. So this is for everybody again. See, the analytics subject looks very easy, but I will not say it's not easy, but I think one has to be, please go through my sections, whatever has been covered in the past, then only you'll be able to, because this is one of the case studies which came in the, you'll get such kind of questions in your exams. So that's why I was giving you a heads up for and making you guys ready for that kind of benchmark.
So, Dr. Valia, what I'll add here is, and I mean, I'm sorry, my laptop died and I've just logged in with cell phone. Something that we are into, as in when you say, I mean, situation that when you say probably people post retirement also work, as in when you look at age like today, as in specifically KFC, right? The guy who retired and probably built the entire KFC is called consulting. So when you say probably you raising their salary, while Insight 2 talks about that there's a high retirement, so that I don't see that as a probably a showstopper, because when you say that you're raising into their salary, and that will always help because you'll put them as consulting. So retention of a talent is very, very important, and we as an organization can do it by moving them to them instead of a on-roll employees to a consultant. So by that you'll always have the same set of experience plus the same set of tenure, and probably somebody who'd spend more time doing the same thing time and again, their occupancy and utilization grow or probably increase. So I think of course going with the increment in their salary plus moving them to a consulting role will help the organization to build the structure better from an analytical standpoint, plus a leadership, I mean, when you start giving them leadership training, their utilization and understanding of a core study will increase, because moving to a future will move them onto a lot of automation zone, where something that they haven't heard of, or probably, I mean, looking at the past, they did not have an opportunity to have access to computers. So by giving them training on computers and leadership style, the way as in the fastest we work today, people never used to. So it'll help them. So by adding and moving them to a consulting role, uh, uh, 3, adding to their salary will help an organization by retaining. I mean, they'll be able to retain and probably get the same work out of the same set of manpower. Will help.
Wow. All right. So that's a nice insight. I like that consistency approach. I like that leadership trainings, which you did mention. Great thought, Mr. Batra. Let me hear from some other group members of yours. If anyone has some other perspective, maybe from Sakshi or Sonal or Arpita. Or in fact, for that matter, Gurmail.
Sure.
So, ma'am, initially we figured out that this company is like it has 10,000 employees, and the main concern of the employee was definitely shrinking supply of talent, aging workforce, and insufficient inventory too for the engineers and the project managers. And since past 2 years, they were having these challenges. So they tied up with this Opt Tech Systems, and then they have been doing various things. So we were also convinced with the second insight, wherein it talks about the training for the leadership, because leadership training also imparts skills to the these engineers. It would impart the skills to perform better and it will enable them to achieve outstanding business results through this particular leadership training. So we felt that it is not about only pay, but more of training.
More of training. Okay, great. Thanks, Sonal. Nice thought. Sakshi or Arpita, if you have some point to be made and shared to the group.
Ma'am, I will go. I would prefer the recommendation 2, which is training, because it has a 3-pronged effect. One is that it's mentioned that engineers are the biggest feed for project managers, so they have something to look forward to. They are being groomed for leadership roles. So that will make them want to stick around, and that will turn down the turnover. As they stick around and they go to better positions, obviously the salary will increase, and they have something to look forward to. And performance-wise, it gives them an impetus to improve their performance with the new knowledge and skills and techniques that they get from the trainings. And if you look at the cost is mentioned here in comparison to the first point where the savings is mentioned. Now, it says in the first point that there's a saving of, I think, $1,000 per person. And in the second one, there's around a cost of $8,000 per training. But if you look at the ultimate numbers, I think the second one for me is a better bet. And the third one, unfortunately, I'm not very clear about what the recommendation is, because I guess I'll have to do a little more study about analytics.
Right.
I'm a newbie on this.
No worries. Okay. Thank you. Sakshi or Gurmail, anything that you would like to share?
Madam, in breakout room 2, we discussed, as Madam Sonal and Arpita have said, that between these 3 options, second option seems to be the better one, because as it is against a 10% training cost, it shows a turnover of 10% less also, that retention of 10% more engineers. So economically that may work out. But at my own level, I would say that this kind of solution may not have only one, you can say, aspect of to be worked on. Because as it is, employee retention is a function of employee salary raise plus training plus whatever the company intervenes according to studying their roles and having a scientific way of placing them. So maybe a combination of all these three things is needed, but I think that would be a very wide thing to discuss at this stage. So between these three options, we discussed between our three participants that the training option seems to be more economically workable.
Okay. Pretty fine. I mean, thank you so much at least. So basically, in this particular situation, you know, there is a shrinkage supply of talent. You very well understand. And, you know, I gave you the last time also as well, last time, the staffing link. Just I wanted you all to read that. Now, basically, there are three insights which has been given, and I was looking for three different recommendations, right? So I will not go into the case right now, and I'll give you the perspective, you know, how you're supposed to need to answer them. So what happens basically here is, in the first situation, if you will see in the case, what it is asking for very categorically, and it says that the predictive modeling for ops force, it wanted to allow, you know, the employees' behavior that needs to be modeled, and the ROI can be evaluated. Now, in this, I like the thought of what Mr. Batra mentioned, that yes, we can have a consultancy approach also. Very great suggestion. I will really consider that very, very good. So in this case, you have seen that based on the year on service, you know, the impact of the most salary raised on their turnover, you know, was very categorically given. And you see that it was, you know, the average annual salary is approximately $70,000, and a 5% raise was there. And there was a difference which was coming up, correct? Now, whether it can be used as a component or not, this is where I was expecting out of you. So, you know, you as an HR analytics professional, and suppose this kind of case study comes in your exam, how you're supposed to do it basically is, the first very thing is you will say that we will do a correlation analysis. That is, you will do the relationship between compensation and turnover. I will just again ask you to please go and visit my second lecture where I talked about little bit of correlation, that how on a x-axis and y-axis we plot both the variables. Now the firm can actually consider, review the career plans of the people, and you know, there can be, with the increasing raise in the compensation is a very critical role. So does it have, is the compensation has an impact on turnover or not? First thing is we really need to find out. So this is your first recommendation on the insight which has been given, right? In the second thing, if you will see, it very categorically shares that engineers with the respective years of service, which is like approximately 3 years, and the recommendation is that they need to undergo one leadership training course, so that the retention happens, and average turnover cost can also be probably seen, can have a positive result, which means that less of turnover will happen. So definitely in this, the leadership training, and in fact, not only leadership training, you can suggest that other development programs can also be integrated for the career planning. And these career plans basically should have engineers means logically the projects means project management. So the another training program you yourself can suggest is the project management training program, where these guys can actually demonstrate their potential. They can become they can communicate their clear path, and also share the various opportunities which are coming and where exactly they can fit into the organization. So this is how, in a bigger picture, you need to mention about the recommendation. So not only leadership training, but also the project management. Now, when I say the third element, which is talks about building the workforce model, the last session was purely into the workforce modeling, correct? And there, the firm can very well use a computer-based capability. In my second session, I have already shared the various tools, online tools which are available and where the organization has been using. For an example, SPSS, SAP, or Python, right? Now, these were various tools, and you can actually, help to know the behavior of the talent and what are the critical roles which has been identified for these roles. What are the criticality which has been associated with the role. So the digital model actually enables, you will see, a rapid and customized approach within the having a structured report generation, and again the visualization element. So this, you can actually suggest that yes, we can have a software portal which can give the visualization assessment, and then we can figure it out that how these capabilities can be used and where exactly kind of responsibility can be demonstrated to them. So in this, definitely, these capability assessment, you can pull out the data, you can create a dashboard, you can create a visuals, graphics, and then based on the output, you can suggest a project, and then a pilot can be done on the focusing on the future performance, which can improve for the growth. So that's how the suggestion comes in, right? So these are the three suggestion actually comes on this particular case study. All right. So my suggestion would be is I would really request all of you to please go through the previous recording, especially for those who it's a new first day session, and the most couple of you guys, I know Mr. Batra, I know Sakshi, I know, Ms. Chakrabarti, even Sonal, they've been regularly attending. So including Rajnikant. So I see today Rajnikant might be having some challenge in his technical glitch. So it's okay. So that's how it goes, guys. So very important here is I'm just sharing my screen. Any query, any question as of now before I proceed?
Where to get your previous content?
I'm sorry, come again, ma'am.
Where can I get your previous content?
Ma'am, the ISTD will share all the links. Alok sir, please request to share the links to all the participants again.
Ma'am, it's also there on the YouTube if you search ISTD daily chapter.
Oh,
All these sessions are there.
Life, thank you so much. Very good. The life made it easy for everybody. Cool. Great. So let's try and understand here is measuring the right things, right? Now, when I talk about the approach of measuring the right things, now let me tell you something. It's very, very important here that we need to figure it out what exactly we want to do. So we need to check the understanding. We need to understand the dialogue between the people. We need to understand the whether everyone has the same set of consensus or not. So these becomes very important element to check the right things approach. So what happens is one of the very great thing to work on this is HR scorecard. HR scorecard is like, you must have heard about the balance scorecard, and it is something that you can actually work on it. And this, I would say it is one of the key problems that HR has been facing in the past, in the perception that what I know is a lot of people think that HR doesn't add anything to the organization strategy. I don't know how much you will agree to me, but a lot of, bottom of the people, bottom of the pyramid people think that HR is what they're doing, nothing, But if you will see that there's a huge amount of contribution that they have. But sometimes we really find it very difficult to create a hopo halla about it. And because of that, so I really appreciate the HR scorecard, which was given, I must tell you to read this book, which was by Becker and Ulrich. So this book is amazingly great. In 2001, it got published, and the aim of this book was to provide that how the strategic HR can be measured. And you will see that, it helps to measure, manage, and improve the strategic role. So that's the approach we have. It is absolutely just like the way we have, balanced scorecard. So how do we create that? We can simply create, first is we need to have the HR strategy map. Need to identify the HR deliverables with the having set of policies, process, and practice. And then definitely the systems and the efficiencies. So this is the strategy maps looks like. So I'll give you with a very simple example, I'll try. So if you will see on the recruitment strategy map, I've used this as an example for the HR scorecard. You first start with the strategy. So let's say the organization wants the most innovative organization in the sector. That's their strategic approach. Now, to be a most innovative organization in the sector, they say that for this we can achieve by hiring the more qualified professional, if we take employee growth as the second perspective. And in the financial perspective, we decrease the recruitment cost. And in the process, we talk about the decrease of lead time and so on. So let me give you very simple here. So let's say that this large European shipbuilding company is looking and want to become one of the, a big innovative giant. And in the external market, the low cost shipping projects are, they have observed is increasingly moving to Asia, while European builders are the go to the technology advanced ship. So like Navy vessels and super yacht. So for this reason, let's say high innovation ranking was important, and that's how they did it in their respective introspection and in their strategic need. Now, what happens is, what we do is we actually here very categorically, we identify how HR can connect to this business outcome. What is the business outcome? To be the most innovative organization in the sector. So one can create a strategy map. And the strategy map, actually, you will see it helps to identify how HR is driving the business outcome. So the question here is, what HR practices drive the strategic goal of the company? What specifically HR need to do in the recruitment function? So those kind of things start rolling in your mind. So here you will see that how step by step the organization actually use the strategic goal to go to the top level. Okay. Now, to measure the HR deliverables, the KPIs are created, right? Key performance indicators. So this HR scorecard, actually showcase how these strategic goals can be measured. Now, just to give you an example here, the lead time is measured as time to hire in a days, right? And I have already given you all the HR related formulas in my blog in my third session. Once we'll have our last session, which is, I think, in the month of November, because today is the 6th session, and I think we just are left with one more session, which is on the last day. Okay. So there I will just rebrief and run you through what all things have been covered, and then you can get a fresh perspective over the topics. So here you will see that, to become a top employer, correct? Now we have to talk about the quality of hire. If I don't have the right set of people to do a right set of job, I won't be able to achieve what I'm looking at. So there has to be a very clear indicator. So the HR department actually knows that increase in the deliverables. Now these deliverables, they are thought of decrease in the lead time or becoming more innovative, and you will see the things falling in place. Okay. So that is how you will see exactly in the balance scorecard, the way we have 4 perspective: financial perspective, process perspective, customer perspective, and learning perspective. Same very way in the HR, you have that. I remember in my ICICI Bank, BSc was one of the balance scorecard was one of the very, very common thing. And we really used to check the people's performance based on that. Whether you were a part of HR or whether you were part of L&D or whether you were part of quality or whether you were a business person. Even the individually, we used to have our own balance scorecard. So that kind of detailing the organization had done it. So you will see that the HR deliverables basically how we can identify is with the help of KPIs, as I was mentioning. So the way we put it into the balance scorecard is first we talk about the target, that how much they need to achieve, and end of the day, what is their current score, that is what is the prevailing score. So in the strategic, which is the most innovative organization in the sector, for that they took the 2 KPIs: position the sector-wise innovation benchmark and time to market for the last 5 news product in days. Let's say so the target is top 3 and time to market is 95. Okay, and accordingly you can score it. So they've got the respective score. Same very way for the employee growth, satisfaction score of manager after 1 year. So that shows the quality of hire. So if the weightage is, the weightage they have given is 0.85, that means the people should give at least this much. That's why they'll get the score. And if you will see the current quality of hire score, they've got 0.70. The same very way in the financial sector, that is, they've identified that how they can actually reduce the recruitment cost, right? So the recruitment cost is, is let's say 3.5 millions. Now, presently they are sitting at 4 millions. Now they really have to reduce it by 0.5, and the effort has to go in accordingly. Then we have the processes. Now the processes are very clear again. It talking about the two things: decrease of the lead time as well as more attractive employer. So here the thing is very clear, that is time to hire in a days with the acceptance ratio as well as the top employer benchmark. Now you will see that yes, the target they've given is 25 days to hire people. 90% is the success ratio percentage, which is the acceptance ratio they've kept, and the top employers benchmark, which is top 20%. Now you will see that they are sitting at the ratio of 70 and top 40%. So you will find that yes, it is very, very important for all of us to figure it out, how they can actually work very categorically, very clearly into this place, and then get the HR scorecard in place. So if I have to ask you in this group, in your organization, does anyone have HR scorecard? Anyone? Okay, so I don't see anyone is talking about this. So that means you have not used it. Nevertheless, so let me just reshare my screen. Okay, balance scorecard. If somebody would like to share about the balance scorecard, if it is prevailing in your organization. Okay, I don't see anyone talking about BSc also. So guys, I would really suggest that do read about the balance scorecard, the 4 perspective, which was given by Robert Kaplan. He talked about balance scorecard is a strategic intervention, and they say, although it is not used for the performance management, but in India, you will find that it's been mostly used for the performance management. So I would just suggest that kindly, read about balance scorecard and just see how well you can have that intervention. So that's important. So HR, which means policies, processes, and practice, right? So another element of HR scorecard is the concern with the policies. Okay. Now, what happens is, I would say, let's start with one at a time. Policies, processes, and practice, which you really have to bring in very, very strongly. And this is being used for a high performance work system. Okay, so in the high performance work system, you will see in a group of interconnected HR practices which we have, which we specially designed to enhance the effectiveness, right? So let's try and understand by considering the previous example I gave about the key deliverables on the lead time and on the high ranking. So let's see how policies plays a very important role. So when I talk about the policies is a strong employer branding policy will help in building a strong reputation that will be becoming a top employer. So that's the policy. Now, policy organization stakeholders, the senior members, they decide, they say that we want this to be addressed. So those policies, once they decide, they work on it. Nowadays, work from home, hybrid, these are becoming a part of policies. People having a Zoom fatigue, they want people to have a policy in the organization to have at least a break on Saturday, Sunday. They have started creating it. I recently remember, I am forgetting which organization, but they had because of the so much of online stress and a lot of work pressure. So this organization is actually celebrating a 10 days break. So entire organization is having a good break for themselves. So that's again a policy for them. So it's all about your organization. The second one is processes. Now, when I say processes, I would say the key to decreasing, when I talk about the previous example, the lead time. So it will be an optimization between how recruiters and the managers communicate. So you will see often a time I have seen that how recruiters and the managers, the way they communicate, even the managers, sometimes I see they take long time to review resumes, and they take their own glorified time to plan the interviews with the candidates. And I'm sure you must have witnessed it with your seniors also. I mean, the seniors will say, we need intent, we need people. And the moment you provide them with the various resumes, and suddenly then you see they're sitting on the resumes, and then it becomes very challenging. So changing these slow processes into the workforce that guarantees a quick action can decrease the time to hire with the, from the months to weeks. Okay, so you will be surprised that HR scorecard is something very interesting. And I know in so many organizations, the way we have quarterly feedbacks, right? So if the quarterly feedbacks are not done by the respective leaders on a respective time, they get penalized on their HR scorecard. Simple, because we are answerable. So in leader scorecard should also hit, not only the HR scorecard. So this is how you can actually make the practice in place. And then the one we have is the practices. Practices actually talks about a specific practice we want to achieve, for all the deliverables that we plan. So creating a policies, creating a processes, creating a practices, you will see if all these 3 P's get synergized, you will see the a great deliverables start demonstrating by the HR, and you will see the scorecards actually going up, and these scorecards will actually, you will see, gets aligned with the stakeholders or the business strategies. That becomes the role of the HR. Are we good? Any query, any question? Yes. Okay, so guys, now we have the last session, which will be focusing on the statistics. And in that last session next, that is, I think, on 14th of November or 4th of November, you will get an insight from the ISTD. And there I'm going to revisit. I'm going to touch, I would really request, please, if you can come up with the, some set of questions in the last class, which is the next time. So in the next class, we have going to do a bit of revision. we are going to do the statistics approach of parametric and non-parametric approach. And I'm going to touch base upon the queries and question, including the kind of, question paper you can expect in your exams, right? So that's how I can sense that yes, you all will be ready for the HR analytics subject. Okay, so are we good with that? So you can reach out to me. I mean, those who are new in the today's session, you can actually get in touch with me, and then we can, work on that. Okay. So great, guys. I think next class, so it's very important because that is the last class. Thanks, Rajni, for that thumbs up. It gives me a consent that yes, it's been understood pretty well. Okay. Before I close, any query or any question? So only a message to you, Arpita, because I see I'm sorry, Anuragini. Please go through this thing, and I have already given the books that you can refer. And again, in the last class, I'll just try to pen it down. I have the email IDs of each one of you. So again, I will put my, the blog so that you can read those snippets, and then we can take it up and have a great insight. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Great, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Bye. Take
Thank
care.
you, mom. Have a nice day, mom.
You too. Take care.